English, yeah? I just came back to speak for the Sheikh Chabad. I was very impressed. Mamash, over 300 people here, 300 women. Anyways, so I think in connection with what Shmuel said, I want to just share with you something interesting. Not everyone knows this, but it's important. You can look it up. It's printed already. But everyone who hears Chof, it's a very special thing. So I'll tell you, we all know that when the Rebbe Tzimchana left Russia, she was scared to take the Svara because it had the stempel of Schneesen in it. And she left Russia under a different name. And she was so scared to have any connection to Schneesen. And she left it in Russia, in Moscow. And of course she told the Rebbe about it. And the Rebbe worked behind the scenes to get it. This thing is printed, by the way, but you can imagine the Rebbe once told someone, I don't know the year, I think the end of the Chofs, the early in the beginning of the Lamets, they printed the Rebbe told someone that Heintige Zeit is Erdom Nissim, bezet Nissim von the Mebishten. And the Rebbe said three things. I only remember two. One thing the Rebbe said, the 6-Day War. And then the Rebbe said, Tatens Ksovim was Arus von Russland. That's one of the Nissim was Mezet, and that's Goloya. Anyways, so 1960, you should know, in Chodesh Teves, that's when the first 3 volumes on the Zohar that the Rebbe's father wrote when he was in Chile from 1939 to 1944, arrived in America. And the Rebbe mentioned it by Farbrengen the first time, was Chamishas B'Shvat. By Farbrengen, the Rebbe Chazer, the first word that he has, the Rebbe's father has a Bereshis. It's printed in the Sikhs. And then, after every year, Chof, the Rebbe would Chazer from the Farbrengen. Rabbi told me that it was very hard to understand. Because the Rebbe, they heard the Loshen, but they didn't have the Ksav. The Rebbe would Chazer word Chof, Tafshin Chof, Tafshin Chav and he didn't have it, he never learned it. The Rebbe had it in his room, he didn't print it yet. But they remember the Oisius, you know, aber gut verstehen, was mit Rebbe geredet. They didn't understand till the Svarim came out. Now we don't understand why, it's a Rebbe Shazach, but the Rebbe didn't print the Svarim until 25 years of the Yortzeit. Tofshin Chavtes, the Rebbe came back from Mincha, from the oil, and all of a sudden, the Rebbe gave the green light, and he wants the Svarim from his father to be printed. And you know the Rebbe, once he gets on the case, Allah in the top, every day they gave all, behalten.
So when am die Spuren gekommen? Was war ja?
Ich bin gewisse gelokken. Von Zoya so gekommen, Tevis, Tofshin Chof. Can you imagine? And I heard, I don't know the mocker, I heard that the Rebbe's mama, the Sechana, asked the Rebbe many times, was Gishus Tarois, the Svarim from the Taten. But we don't know why, it's a Rebbe Shazach, 25 years, Tofshin Chavtes. Now, the Ike wanted to hear like this. That it took a couple of years, they pushed, it was Agid Zalman Hadich, I don't remember him, maybe you remember him. And he was the one who, he knew the Rebbe's Ksaviyad, the Rebbe's father Ksaviyad. And can you imagine, it's a very different Ksaviyad, you can see. He wrote it over completely. Can you imagine, he wrote the entire Sefer over. And then he gave it into Balshan, he gave it into Washington, they printed it. But they ever pushed. It's a made the Arbeit, I got him so Sach. Over the years you figure out but his work is to figure out the Rebbe's father's writing, and very small, tiny, it's unbelievable work. But Baal, let me tell you, it came out Tofshin, this was then Tofshin Chavtes, Lamed Aleph, Lamed Beis, Chofov, officially came out the last krach on the Igris. All the letters that Rebbe got, and also Hashimis. What I heard then, it didn't come out, the date was Chofov, Lamed Beis, but it came out into the market, by Kahos, came out after Tishrei, Tofshin Lamed Gimel. Here I want to get to you the Unshin Shura. Look at the Sikh, it's printed. Teres Nachs Vadois printed it. Tofshin Lamed Gimel, after all the Svarim were printed. Chof Vav Tafshin Lamed Gimel, the first Sikha, I even think the second Sikha too, for sure the first. The Rebbe was Makdish about the Großkeit from learning my father's Torah. And then the Rebbe said these words. Everyone who's here, you should know it's a Chaim of them. The Rebbe said these words. B'shas is da a hayemi lule von der Tzadik und befragt Tzadik wie der Tate. Wat Mesiras Nefesh. Und weg mit Mesiras Nefesh stocken Gräser von dem. So then the Rebbe said these words. Jeden Yortzeit wird bei ihm an Aliyah Shavin Arech. And then the Rebbe said these words. Anyone who will learn the Torah from Taten, befragt auf eine Jahrzeit, wird verbunden mit den Taten, wird bei ihm euch sein an Aliyah Shavin Arech. You can look it up. I'm not telling you, behalten die Yechidus von Emerson. Look it up. Lamed Gimel Tafshin. The Rebbe was Magdish, the whole beginning of the Farbrengen. Chassidim then, I heard, understood, you know, the Rebbe, there was many Chofs. But why did he talk about it then? Because all the Ksovim from Taten were gedruckt. And now there's no reason I don't learn it. So this is a Meiride Kazach that we should chaza a word. And it should be, so I want to just say, echo, Yehud, Ki Yehudel V'Eid Kra, to Rab Shmuel. We all know everyone knows what he needs. Zongel L'chaim, it should be an aliyah, it should be ein erech mamish for everyone. V'kesivach sim etoive, bon L'chaim zein erech. So I'm going to show you one word I shared with the women. To them you have to bring it down as they waste noch. So I'm going to share with you an interesting thing. You know, Menachem Galitsky, he shared with me a very nice thing. I bring it in one of the Akdoma, one of my svarim, maybe the fourth, I think. It just shows you the Rebbe's cook. When it was Shnasa Aboyim, when it was Shnasa Aboyim, Tovshin Dalet Mem, Tovshin Dalet Mem, that was the first time that in 770 they made the Kovach Shnasa Aboyim, the Rebbe started the mitzvah from the Feres Cain Levi Yitzchak. So when was the first kinus? The Rebbe came out, he spoke to the the first time was Tovshin Dalet Mem, in the honor of the 40th Yortzeit. So look what happened. I have a copy of it. They sent in the program to the Rebbe. They called, these who remember, we were all in 770 then, the alle Babetschkes, and alle Feine Zedis, the Russische from Brighton Beach, weißt du, alle Weisen, you can't Ivre. Aber they all came, and they gestanden dort, and they gehad them beim Sicher. Porsche to Yidden. So look, unbelievable thing. Tovshin Dalet Mem. The Rebbe gets the whole program, and Avraham Fried was singing for them, Baumgarten, Yiddish and Negunim, everyone was 15 minutes, and then there was a video. And then they wrote, like this, in the beginning, they said this be Divrei Psiche for 10-15 minutes. And they didn't say what, just Divrei Psiche, opening words. And they wrote the whole program, and then they wrote, 3:15, but I'm Minche with the Rebbe. The program started at 2:15. The only thing that ever answered on that settle was when they wrote the word Divrei Psiche, and then at the other end of the page they wrote 2:15. The Rebbe added these words. Divrei Psiche, look at the words the Rebbe added with Tzaviyat. Bidvar Malchus. So the Rebbe added, which Divrei Psiche should be Bidvar Malchus? Miteirosei Shel. Then the Rebbe made a circle on top. The name of his father, Levi, made a star, and he made a star next to it. Miteirosei Shel, like, you know, from Levi Yitzchak. And then he said these words. He made a dash. Hamuvon laha'anes sofim sheichyu. Says, Reddish can hege zeggen. Dat zegt was is afvillen alle babetjes kan verstaan. See what the Rebbe said? I don't know. I asked him who spoke then. He doesn't remember. I don't know if it's on video. The kid said, so you see from this, how the Rebbe wants, as my father's Teda is Shaykh Tzalaman. Leaving babetjes. So this letter gave us the inspiration really to decipher and to try to bring down the Rebbe's. So just last year, it's a big, I'll tell you, just this year, Chayenu, I worked with them 22 years, but this is the first year, every single week. We have 5 people working in it, explaining it. It's checked over by many mumchim. We have an English translation of a word on the Parsha from the Rebbe's father. It's printed in Chayin every week. And now they printed a couple of 20 pieces of Shura. We hope as Hashem said, "Rush come and save for them." I want to tell you, things how go. There's a shliach in Uruguay who speaks Spanish. He took what Chayin wrote in English and he translated it in Spanish, and he sends it out to all the Spanish people. Another shliach is translating in French and in Russian. But it just shows you how the Pirush of Rambam State wird nispashet mehr and mehr. So I want to share with you this beautiful word I shared with the women. I know that it's a good word for them because they all told me that they understand it. I once heard that the Rebbe said by Farbrengen once, it was after Shabbos, the Rebbe said, everyone that went to Halucha, I'm going to give him a piece of matzah from small piece of matzah. So everyone lined up, the Rebbe gave a piece of matzah. This was in the early years, it wasn't so many chavre, maybe Tazvov, Tazayin, even Gedalit. So Farbrengen, so Yitzhak Groner, who then he had a stelle, he had a shul somewhere in Brownsville, he had a shul. So he also stood online. So Rebbe looks at him, Rebbe tells him, "Die, was sollten doch von Drosche? They pay you, get a salary for the bochum." They went, no. So he was a smart aleck. So he tells the Rebbe, "Mein Drosche is a sach mehr wert wie von mir bezahlt." So the Rebbe tells him, "Das wird man fragen bei der Balabate, nicht bei dir." So he didn't get. The Rebbe said, "No, this is only for these or my chavre went to look." Apparently he said he went into Yechidus. He has a birthday after Pesach, Nissen time. And he was in Yechidus. The Rebbe told him, "I didn't give you matzah by Farbrengen, but I'm going to give you, because you're a shliach." The Rebbe told him, "From Shiuri Kaira." So you had a choshev. I'm going to give you a piece of matzah that I have in my drawer from Shiuri Kaira, left over from the Kaira, which was nicht stam matzah the Rebbe from Pesach. Aber the Rebbe told him, "Das wird wegen der Balabat nicht weich." Anyway, it's the So I'm going to show you this beautiful one. Until next week's parsha, from the Gemara, you should know, nobody has pshat. I'm telling you. Since the story, since the Gemara is geschrieben geworden, keiner versteht zum Pshat in Gemara, gut, the Rebbe's Tate. And the Rebbe's Tate wrote this to the Rebbe in a letter. The Gemara says, next week's parsha, in order to have a kosher fish, you have to have 2 simonim. What's the 2 simonim was? Snapping and kaskeses. Fins and scales, yeah? Fins and scales. So the Gemara, I live in Princeton, Chacham University. I asked him this question, no one has the answer. The surprise that I know, I thought, I never learned science, but I know from the Gemara, neither. The Mishnah says, neither, every fish that has kaskeses, if it has scales, guaranteed, it has snapper, has fins. But not every fish that has snapper has kaskeses. Then if you take out a fish from the water and you see it has kaskeses, but you don't see any snapper, you don't see any fins, you could eat it. Or it was born with a mum, or another fish bit it, ate it up, a bit kosher. But if you find a fish that has fins, but doesn't have scale, not kosher. What's the loch? Frag the Gemara, hey Bazoi, if every fish, the ikasimin is only kaskeses, why does the Torah tell me snap it too? And the Gemara answers, appelle the answer. Because we have good verstehen. The Gemara answers, you're right. We say in the end of Bulletin every single day, Yad dil Torah v'yadeh. As you're right, to beautify Torah, there's the Pashup Shat in Dubov1. The Torah, you wanted to make it nice and to make it, so we threw in another simon. This is the Pashup Shat in the Gemara. The Rebbe started, what says, so many tila halachas you learn from one extra yud. Basically, Rus was mutar as lovi bekal and ganze sugi in Yavamis. Because why? It says instead of loyovi amoyin umayavi. Doesn't say moyov, it says ayud moyavi, you learn out moyavi, you learn moyavi. It's one yud is matir, so it's getan a ganze David Melech mutar as lovi bekal, ganze nameis. One yud. So here, a ganze Wort, du sagst das Samen, wie ist doch also, ja, teure. And then the Rebbe's father is Maram is noch a kasha. And this is Mamash Hamoyedike kasha. Comes after the Gemara, once you learn the tales, Yaakov Toida, the Ike Simon is what? Kaskazes. The what? We threw in another Simon. But in the Pasuk, it says Snapi Kaskazes. So those is, if it would have said Kaskazes, and then it's where he said, okay, I'll throw you another Simon, Snapi, good. But now we still can't understand the Gemara. Even in a elementary level. Aber you say Snappe first, that's not even the Ike Simon. The Ike Simon is Kaskazes. Stimmt nicht die ganze Sache. And for the Rebbe hat mir die gesagt. Just like you have, I told the women, just like you have Beruim B'yam, just like you have creatures in the ocean. Kosher and nicht kosher. What's a kosher fish B'yam? Snappe v'Kaskazes. Also, the Eibishter said on earth there's also going to be two types of Beruim. There's going to be Goyim, and then there's going to be Yidden. And the Eibishter says, I would like you every Yid to have two Simonim. Snapper, you also have in your Vedas Hashem Snapper and Kaskazes. And the Rebbe's father explains like this. He wants us all to be a kosher fish. Snapper is Poshe Begashmis, Apiteva, it helps the fish to swim. Without the snapper, he wouldn't be able to swim. Avoid the Adam, it means every Yid has to learn Torah. It says that's gain in the world. If you don't learn anything, you don't know anything of Shulchan Aruch, you don't know anything of Torah, bist da bechoishich mahalach, gehst in finster, you wouldn't know how to swim, you don't know what to do in the world. When you wake up in the morning, you wake up at night, jeder sagt, a Yid, der Eibishter fit dem Torah oil, gibt ihm Lichtigkeit, wie zu finden in sein Leben. Every day in the life, Torah tells you what to do. If you don't learn, you don't know the basics, how to make Pesach, how to make Yom Tov, everything you have to push it, learn, practice halacha, or Tife, Gemara, halacha, the Pshat. There's different levels. But without Torah, you don't know how to go. Sishke mahalach. So snappe from a fish, begashmis, is compared to Torah by a Yid. Then the Alter Rebbe says in Tanya, that Perik Dalet, mitzvahs are levushim to our neshama. Person's levushim is his machshove, his dibur, his ma'aser. All mitzvahs are connected to thinking about the Eibishter, talking, v'gbartabom, rachas kama doing mitzvahs, b'ma'aser, roiv mitzvahs. But those are the levushim, those are the garments that we clothe our neshama. So the kaskazes, that's like similar to a levush. But the Gemara says over there, the kaskazes, the scales, that's like a garment that's on the body of the fish. Learns the Rebbe's father, you see how unbelievable it fits so well. That scales is your mitzvah. Fins is your Torah. Now look, it's an unbelievable thing. What does the Gemara say again? Any fish that has snappe, lav dafka hot the kaskazes. But any fish that has kaskazes, guaranteed he also has snappe. So the Rebbe's father Merdik, he says, you see how it fits Beruchnius. The Gemara says, Kol oime einli ela Torah. Like he comes to the Eibush and says, the Eibush, they have to live. Azach chmoses, he gives me chochmah Torah. I love it. I learn Torah all day. I'm not interested in your mitzvahs. Ich hab lieb dein Torah. He has only one sim is snapper. Aber will nicht donke meister mitzvahs. The Eibush says, entschuldig, aber I feel a Torah anyway. Sich kein kosher fish. Aber if you find a Yid, said the Rebbe's father, he writes this. The poshet is a poshet. If you see he does a mitzvah, I'll give you a dugma. I have a chabaras. I can tell you, people come in, I can tell you they don't know anything. They wees things out. Heint is Yom Kippur, heint einfach was. Ich habe ein Kind, ein Sohn, ich weiß, als Jeden malten sein Kind, ethics. He doesn't know why mitzvahs will always go. Aber I feel that that kleine prat, weiß er. So sagt der Rebbe, staat any guy, any Yid you have in the world, if he does mitzvahs, he has to know something. How should he do it if he doesn't know what to do? Het zit Chaneke licht. Even ze wezen niet begrijpen wat Chaneke is. Maar etwas tut weiß er. Heint is Yom Tov. Oh, het zit licht. So he knows, I say a joke, maybe he's like a sardine. A kleine fish, weißt du, a kleine snapper, a kleine kaskesses. Aber tut etwas. So every Yid who you see does mitzvahs, if he has kaskesses, Musay, he has to be a kosher Yid. Etwas weiß and nicht, wie weiß was dann? Aber verkehrt kann ja sein. The what? That he could be a snapper, he could have friends, he could learn a lot of Torah, and he doesn't know mitzvahs. It's not kosher. Aber Yid was tut meisa mitzvahs, guaranteed the hot business man. The fact you find a fish that has kaskesses, kosher, sicher, the gehad some. Now you understand the other kasha from the Rebbe's father. What was the Gemara use the Lashon? Yagdil Torah. With these words, Yagdil Torah, for emphasis the kasha, why does the Torah say first, snap it? Even though it's not the Ikasim. Because the Gemara says in Kiddushin, the Gemara asks a question, they asked in the yeshiva, what's greater, Talmud Gadol or Maisa Gadol? And the Gemara says, Nimnu v'gomru, Alon mazega paskint, Talmud Gadol. Why? Shemei v'ledei Maisa. And the Rebbe learns from here, from the Gemara Guf Ezetmen, as it is Talmud Gadol. Talmud is not great, but the Tachlis from the Limud is Shemei v'ledei Maisa. This is the pshat the Gemara answers. Alle kashas, Yagdil Torah. Is my name to the Sugye in Broches. Godil Talmud. I need snapper first. You have to learn Torah first. And that's why I mentioned snapper in the pasuk first. Because you got to learn Torah to know how to navigate and not to be at the lechu. And you have to learn Shulchan Aruch to know what to do. Without that, you won't know how to feel Yiddish and Shtub. But the Tachlis is, that's only one simon. The Iker simon is Kaskes. And that's why, the reason why I was Magdim, snap it first, not because that's a Psakosher simon. That's a Hachoneh. That's a preparation to Maisa. And I told the women like this. I said, no, I'm going to share with you my own personal life. I feel the same thing as with every Chosid. If a Chosid tells the Rebbe, ich hab die Liebe, die Chochme, schmerig. Ich hab die deine Siches, ich hab die deine Memoren. But I'm not interested in doing Zeug. Der Rebbe sagt, ich suche nicht, was ich gesehen. Das ist nicht von mir, das ist nicht ein Kosher-Fisch. Aber, Hayid, Chosid, das haben beide. Der Rebbe sagt, learn meine Siches, it will inspire you. But what's the Tachlis? That's a Yidden business. Kennst du geben Matze? Ich know, I have a Chabaras. I talk a month before Pesach. I tell everybody boss. I feel a freiheit. A doctor. Have a doctor, he became from. He gave out this year 50 boxes of matzah to all his patients. 50 boxes of matzah for the Seder. Everyone, you're a Jewish patient, I give you. You could work, you could use, you could not use, but you could try to take Balabatrim, and they can reach Jews that you don't know. You'll never know them. But the Tachas is you teach them, you're a Yid, you gotta be kosher fish. So I just conclude, I say L'chaim, I told the women, they should on a benchen, we should not be sardines, we should all get the Rebbe Nachas, we should like gesund carpfish, sesame fish, gesund kaskasim, snap L'chaim.